are. It says we are. Hold on. Setting up your meeting for Facebook Live. Thank you, Zoom.
Meeting is now live on Facebook.
And there we are. Yes, we are live now. Getting a little, it looks like we're about 15 seconds ahead of the feed, Justin. So here we go. It's always interesting doing the recording from Zoom to Facebook. But here we are. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us. Welcome to another Next Level pop-up, formerly known as Dream Chasers Live. In this ever-changing world, though, I heard a very wise person recently say to me, Adam, it's okay to have, your 90-day plans, your 1-year goals, your 3-year goals, visions, plans, 10 years, you name it. As far as scheduling and planning right now, though, you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage when you're not planning your life out 1 week at a time right now, just because of how quickly things are moving and how fast things are changing. And yes, in this interesting era that we find ourselves in. So as soon as I heard that, I'm like, boom, that's why this is perfect, because we were trying to do Dream Chasers Live consistently, and it's just a headache. It's better to do the pop-up. So here we are. I'm joined by Justin Wilson. Normally, you guys will see me on here with Matt Teifke. Matt, we missed you here tonight, but I'm sure you'll be back. Shout out to Matt Teifke. He's a man, introduced me to a lot of cool people in Austin, Texas. But Justin Wilson and I was about to say we went to college together, but actually somehow it feels like we did, because we both went to Westminster, West Mini. But your freshman year, weirdly enough, was the year after I graduated.
Yeah.
You got to spend a lot of time with my brother Paul there, which is cool. And then after you graduated, you moved to Washington, D.C. with me and Paul and our friend Nadir Price, who might join us here today, and many other wonderful people. And yeah, we just became buddies. I mean, we basically lived together for at least, I don't know, a few months while you're going through your transition.
It was like 2 or 3, maybe 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely know me. This is someone who I would definitely say knows me pretty well. And long story short, the guy that we just referenced, Nadir and Justin, I've seen them both dancing in my house with their shirts off to weird music before to help paint a picture. I'm getting a phone call from Nadir as soon as I say that. Anyways, J Money, take it away, man. I just said way too much.
Yeah, man. Well, it's great to be on something. There he is, Nadir.
Nadir, you're on Facebook Live right now. I bet you didn't know that. Say it again. Hey, we want to get you on the stream, man. Are you getting on?
Zoom?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll send you the Zoom link, and then it'll go through to Facebook.
For real? Damn, that's kind of wild. Because I'm outside, like stretching because I was working all the time.
He's stretching from the workout. All right. Well, you can check us on Facebook. You could probably just go back and listen to yourself speak now. Whoever is paying attention to this message is going to hear it. But
I mean, I don't know if that will bother your Facebook Live because it's streaming live, so I don't care though.
Okay. Well, no, I'll send you the Zoom link. If you want to hop on, you'll have it. Because if you hop on the Zoom, then it pushes us all through to Facebook. That's how it works.
Oh, perfect.
Cool. So I'll send you the link, and Justin's getting back to his story about how he took over the fairy tale princess and killed the dragon. All right. We'll see you soon. All right.
Yeah, man. No, thanks for having me on here. I appreciate it. Just getting to talk and catch up, and get to hear about what you got going on. And, I'd love to share what I have going on. Because it's crazy, right? Like, I feel like when all of this, we've had a few conversations since all this started, but COVID, just like everyone feels different. Like I was just telling you before we started this, I feel like a hermit. I used to be like Mr. Chameleon, change, I'd go jump off a, high dive if there was an opportunity. And now it's just kind of like staying, sheltering in place, really. So yeah, it's been a weird world.
I know you were a big fan of bungee jumping.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of bungee jumping. I'm more big bungee jumping when it comes to like careers and opportunity. And
I was like, you imagine you bungee jumping was what you made?
No, I'm actually terrified of heights. So no bungee jumping in the foreseeable future. At least I think so. Unless I do like it for like a wedding or something, getting married and they jump off a cliff, with my bride to be. But yeah, I don't think she'd be interested in that either. So
Yeah, no,
yeah,
this is a perfect way to catch up, and who knows, drop a few golden nuggets along the way. Our boy Nadir is about to hop on here. But you were asking me earlier, how's work going? How's life going? I mean, I feel the same for you. I know it might feel a little weird right now because we're having a relatively personal conversation with who knows watching, but after a while, it fades away. It fades away. So, yeah, man, like update me. I know you got the house. You've been
yeah.
working.
So me and my girlfriend Ellen, we obviously Ellen, but
Yep,
we
Ellen is Justin's girlfriend, guys.
yeah, who actually, funny enough, used to be my RA in college. So, but we didn't date when she was my RA. We actually met later on in DC, which is a another weird coincidence. Is Nadia, are you there, man?
You hear the dogs, you know he's there.
And yeah, and
I'm listening.
what?
I'm listening. Good to see you,
Okay.
bud.
Hey,
Hey,
man.
love you, bro.
Uh,
We hear the Belizean dogs barking. If you can turn your camera on, because I'm pretty sure, like, if anyone's tuned in, if anyone's tuned in right now, they're gonna like just hear your voice, but they won't see your face. So it'll look kind of
My
not to put
bad.
pressure on you now, boy.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to see
Oh, dude,
guys like I'm
you
a
got the best connection out of all of us. I feel like coming through smooth.
yeah, you're good. Oh
There
yeah.
he is.
I'm kind of like
Hey, all right, cool.
weird, you know.
He's in Belize just wilding like LeBron
Yeah.
James. Sorry, Justin, you were talking. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah, no, man. I'll always take a
I
break from my man Nadir right here. But yeah, man.
really
So
myself so you guys don't hear the dogs. All right.
Sounds
okay.
good. Just when you talk, unmute.
Awesome. Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, man. So basically, we COVID happened, some life things happened as far as just people, family members getting COVID, and we decided that the best bet would for us is just to um, move actually home and buy a house. We saved up all our money because we weren't going out. I don't know if anyone that lives in DC or in Virginia or like Nova, it's basically like the DMV knows it's expensive as all hell to live there. So, not having to go out or not having to, eat out and doing different things, we saved up a bunch of money. And, that was enough to put on a down payment on a house. So, bought a house and, still just chugging away, man, trying to get I've like picked up like 10 hobbies since COVID started. I'm like a bar. I could mix up any drink you want. I started making like terrariums out of like jars that we're not using anymore. So now I just have like these like random things in my window, which is full of bugs and dirt and grass and like just
You got
random.
bugs in there.
Oh yeah, dude. Got some roly polies and some I had a spider in there, but it was eating everything. So I took the spider out. But it's been sealed for like 3 months, 4 months. I haven't opened it for 4 months. So
You've always
yeah.
been good with that. I know you were like the aquarium, the fish tank guy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would turn the computer, but I don't want to like do a whole pan of this room. But I just set up I just been begging Ellen since we bought this house to set up a fish tank. So I finally got a little tiny 4-gallon fish tank in my corner here because this is my workspace, because we all have to work. Most of us are working from home still. So, got a little Zen fish tank over here to my left, your right. So yeah.
What kind of fish you got in there?
Right now it's just a bunch of rocks. I haven't put water in there yet. But I'm planning on not even actually having shrimp. I'm not even gonna have fishing. I'm just gonna have shrimp in it. So yeah, we'll see.
So you got the Belizean act going on right there.
doing the YMCA right now.
Nadir, update us on. I see you've been taking your fitness to the next level this year. How's that going? You working out with Chrissy?
Honestly, no, I haven't been in Belmont for quite a while. I'm selling this out, and I'm selling Belize Punta Gorda, and I don't know, man. COVID happened, not much happening, and I don't know. same thing, COVID and a lot of crazy experiences occurring. You know, I lost a couple of family members and friends, and I don't know. I just honestly, it's kind of like this is what happened, right? Like freaking all these things happening, and I came to a point that I came like, damn, like life is suffering, like life is crazy, like life is wild. And when I came to that realization, I was like, yo, you know what? I also want to be, I also want to be just like hard, you know, like just I also want to be the hardest. I also want to be the baddest person I know, not like evil bad, but just like unstoppable, just like
Jacques
crazy.
Morafella.
Right. Just hardest effort I know, you know. So I just began challenging myself. I was like simple stuff, you know, like push ups, pull ups, that thing. And I've never. I think I've always had like the initiative. I think, but I've never really had the drive. But I always kind of like felt as if though, you know, like I've always had a lot of energy to do things, but physically, I've never really been that type of person. But you know, I guess over the past couple of months, I was like, you know what, like forget, like nothing's gonna stop me, like nothing. Like a lot of times I go running, you know, it could be raining, it could be cold, like who cares? Like I'm just going. And it's kind of crazy enough, guys. Like every time I work out, like I always expect or I always want like the most challenging things, you know, like if it's raining, was like, yes, this is it. I want a challenge. I want things to be hard. I want to challenge my mind most of all. And I just do it, man. But I know it's all physical workout and stuff, which is kind of challenging. Of you know, it depends on the levels of what you're doing and how you want to take it, you know. But to me, most of all, like the most important thing is to make my mind, like just prepare my mind and kind of like creating calluses on my mind, you know, not just my hands and stuff, you know, but on my mind because I want to be ready for life opportunities and not just life opportunities, but I want to be ready for the hard things about life, for the suffering about life, like the tragedy of life, you know, like for those moments, you know, like you know, they told me, "Yo, your grandma passed away." I was like, "Damn, for real?" I was like, "Man, that's kind of wild," you know, like these tragedies of life. And I've made it very personal to me because I noticed before all of this occurred, I've always been like a very sensitive person, very emotional, you know, with my friends and family and stuff. And I've noticed a lot of times I've always made like a lot of I wouldn't say mistakes, a lot of excuses not to do things or to justify my current situation in life. And I was like, you know what, like, nah, like I'm changing that. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now.
Dude, that's like based. I was thinking about
Oh
this.
no.
I was thinking about this the other day. J Money. Actually, why don't you and I do this? Tell our favorite Nadir story, and then after that, Nadir, if you could tell the story about when you went to Philly, or like whenever you went somewhere and you like almost got stranded in the States. Because I was telling Nicole about it the other day. Because you went to Philly, or you went somewhere like north of DC, and you almost got like lost in Times Square or something. But anyways, before we do that, I want to hear. I know Justin's got a billion Nadir stories, but what was like your favorite Nadir memory?
Man, I don't even, to be honest with you, hmm. That's a on the point, like
It's a
on the
tough one.
spot question. Yeah, it's a tough
Here,
one for
I'll
sure.
go first because I just had one come to mind. This probably isn't, to be honest, it's probably not my favorite. I would have to think really hard for my favorite. One was actually, remember when Paul was chasing you around the house with the mask on, Nadir? That was pretty
Don't
funny.
forget.
But no, honestly, I go back to like the first time when I first met Nadir in Belize. It was 2013, and I just got back from Cocoa Beach with Bird, or I was hanging out with someone, and we made a video. And Nadir saw this like video that I made, and I put it on YouTube, and he kept coming. It's like, "Yo, Adam," like, and I didn't really know him yet either. It's like, "You made this?" Like, bro, this is mad. This is mad, mad. Like he loved my video so much to the point when I first met him, I was like, all right, dude, like cool, like nice to meet you. But he kept telling me how cool the video was. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, but then like I don't know,
Oh
over
no.
time Nadir just grew on me, and I was like, dude, this is my best friend for life right here. Like I felt so bad that when I first met him, I was like, because but here he is, like getting jocked in Dome South.
Right.
So, anyways, that's just a funny story that comes
Oh
to
no.
mind.
Yeah. Dude, honestly, like, um, I think there's a few good Nadir stories for sure, just like the top of mind. But I'll go with like the most like meaningful, I think most influential on my life personally, just because that's my man's an influential and like you're saying, emotional person. At least I don't know anymore. Now I might be like Rambo or something,
There's a
but
reason why we
uh,
call him Nadandi.
yeah. Um, I think I think when I first moved to DC, I was going through some everyone has like that relationship you're in college and you have that whatever and just some like drama between my family and the person I was in a relationship with. And one thing uh, Nadir had mentioned whenever I was going through, I was mad at my parents and I was mad at like everything going on. And don't want to get too into the details because it's really embarrassing. I don't want to be known as the guy that's parents text their ex and say
Hey
all kinds
man,
of crazy stuff. And
I'm sure it happens a lot
um,
more than you think.
but I was mad at my parents. And one thing Nadir said to me was, "Hey man, just regardless of however you're feeling now, like just love them. Like they love you, and like you just need to keep loving them. And like regardless, like it's gonna pass." And I don't know why, like even at the time I was like, "What's this guy talking about?" Like what's he? But then I realized, like he's right. Like all these things that like even with COVID going on, like all these things are so temporary, and it's like we gotta love the people that we have with us that are sticking up for us or are reaching out to people and doing stuff for us. Like we gotta love those people. So that's my main like emotional get right get tight Nadir story. And then I think just like overall, not to keep going, but just exploring DC together for like the first week I moved to DC. We just me
That's
and my friend
right.
just went like exploring together like all day, shot some skateboarding videos and pictures. We never at least I never had done that before. And just like got like lost in DC, which was awesome. So
I'm with Big Will. I'm with the Big Will.
yeah.
Nice. All right. So the Adventures of Nate Dondi.
Oh yeah.
Any follow up on that?
Yeah, I remember two of those memories that you guys just shared. I remember those memories very clearly. I think one of my best memories with Justin was during that same time when when all of those things were happening, with him and with him moving to DC. And I don't know, man. I was with all the trouble happening at the time. I was proud of Justin, like moving from Philly to DC and like taking the initiative that he took. And he was just going for it, and with all the different hurdles, all the different barriers that he had, and like it was tough. But like Justin, like he was like, I'm in this, and to me that was like very inspiring. I was like, man. And I do remember telling him that whatever happens, like just experience it, like just just be a part of it, like even if it doesn't feel good. I don't know, you're existing, that's life, it's just kind of like, but ultimately that's kind of like, I guess I'm kind of like a bit of a hippie type person, but to me it's all about
No.
love. To
No,
me it's
that's
all
the
about
spirit.
love. And I don't know, I just believe, that if it comes from your heart, whatever you do, the people you love, like the interactions you have, like if you could make it come from your heart, that you will always be good. Because I feel that the language of the universe is love. I feel that once that we could speak from our hearts, and I just feel everything will be good because it's like the language of the universe. Everything is in sync. yeah, I don't want to sound like no yippee type of person with the saying the language of the universe, but I just feel like love is a frequency that is shared throughout the universe, like in everything, like in all living beings, and that's kind of like that's what I believe in, I guess. But I do remember, Justin, like I remember like a lot of times, like when I would go with you to the store wherever, and you would be driving, and bro, I remember you would put on the song by
Yeah,
what was that Juice
oh,
WRLD, bro.
Oh,
Those
Juice.
are
That was before Juice passed away too.
right. It was like all girls were the same. Like the bass on the car, bro. It was insane. Like I just remember we went everywhere, and I would just be there, just rocking to the song. And I know, man, I do cherish those memories very much,
sure.
but not just those memories. Like I cherish all the memories that I had while I was with you guys in DC. Every single one, man. Like a few nights, I remember when I went to pick up Justin or you guys or at the
Yeah,
club or whatever. Those are like some of the dopest memories ever. Like driving
Think of all the times we were trying to figure out where Nadir was and he didn't have like Wi-Fi or anything.
bro, some of the best memories ever. And I remember, yeah, man, I remember driving Paul's car since the Grand Marquis, and it looks like an undercover cop car. And I
Right.
remember I would just drive slow on this little lane. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning, and cars just overtake on the fast lane. I would quickly spin into the fast lane. I would just chase them down, and they thought I was an undercover cop, so they would just move to the side. Bro, I was dying my laugh
Nadir's just messing with people.
every time. It's pretty awesome. Yo,
Yeah.
I'll share this kind of like sketch. I'm not sure if I should share this. But I remember this one time, right? I had an edible, right? Right. And it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. And I remember you guys called me to go pick you guys up. I jumped in the car, I was bumping to Post Malone. I got to D, right? I'm listening to music hard, like all out. Then I see a cop car behind me. Then I see the lights turn on. I hear the siren. Bro, my heart fell. I was like, oh no. I was like, you know what? It's done. It's over. You know what? It's good. My heart was just pounding. I was like, you know what? This is it. So I just move over to the side of the road, and the car just overtook me. I was like, bro, for real? Yeah, it was dope. That was dope. And I think some of my best memories with Adam. I don't know, bro. To be honest, my best memories with Adam. Honestly, damn, that's a
There's a
really, really
lot. There's a lot.
right.
I was just thinking
Yeah,
about the time where Justin, I can't remember. You went to Echo Stage with us before, right?
yeah.
I don't think
I
I,
went a couple of
There's
times.
the one
I don't
time where
think
it's
I
like, were you there the one time when we were like, yo, where's Nadir right now? And we look like across the venue and he's at two empty tables by himself, just
Oh, right.
bouncing around, just going ham.
Bro,
Like sober, like I don't think he's completely sober, just
Yeah.
going
yeah,
ham.
yeah. That was dope. That was dope. I was just kind of like expressing myself in this huge room with a lot of music and a lot of people downstairs. It was dope. But
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite memories of you, Adam, was when we were all in San Pedro. That was dope.
In the hot tub.
Right, right.
Or
Just
like Cocoa Beach or whatever with Juice.
right, right, bro. That whole trip, that whole experience.
We're
Was
losing
really cool.
Justin. He doesn't know what we're talking about. We're probably losing a lot of people now,
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
But also another experiences I could think about is honestly like going back to your home in Painesville, like around your family, your mom, your pa, your sisters, and your dad. Like, bro, definitely your grandma. I do cherish those moments a lot, and like a lot of times I just think about it. and especially during this time because I know I spent a lot of Christmases with you guys up there.
You did. Nadir spent like at least 4, maybe 5 Christmases in Ohio. I don't know,
Yeah.
but there's a room in our basement that everyone in our family, when we refer to it, everyone says Nadir's room. Like he's got a room in our house.
Bro, it's kind of wild, bro. It's kind of wild because like I don't think you guys would really understand what that means to me. You know, like going out up there with you guys and like I don't know, like it means a lot. Like family, you know, like I see you guys as family, and I love you guys as family. Even you, Justin, and especially all the times that I've shared with you guys. You know,
I was
like
hoping you
bro,
were talking about me, man.
no, no,
Dude, no,
no,
you
Well,
guys,
of
no,
course
you
you,
guys, you guys
of course
definitely,
you,
you guys had a
right,
special bond though, for sure, because like Nadir he was in the States and like doing projects here and there, and Justin, you were like, especially when you were looking for work, Pally and Paul was running the paint store, I was probably doing real estate or whatever. So like you guys
yeah,
actually had a lot of like one-on-one time just going around, like doing stuff.
right, right.
buying dollar pizzas, eating Taco Bamba tacos.
Like there's stuff that you
Right.
guys did that I have no idea that took place, honestly. Like, is there any other stories I'm missing here?
I have 2 good ones. I don't know if
All
do
right,
you
nice.
think of any good ones?
Taco
So,
Bamba. Dang, bro.
Bro,
Taco Bamba. One was I totally forgot about this, so you just brought up Echo Stage. I totally forgot. My man Nadir just reached out like via Gmail to 3 like Pepper this professional reggae band.
How can we forget
Got us
about that?
backstage at a Pepper. What was it? Pepper 311. No, it was Pepper, Slightly Stupid, and Stick Figure. Which
stick
I don't know if
figure.
anyone out here is out listens to reggae music, but those are pretty big reggae bands. And we were backstage at Wolf Trap,
Bro,
just vibing out.
How
Crazy.
did that
bro.
happen? How did that happen again?
All right,
Nadir,
this is what happened, right? It was Alex. You remember Alex
King Chief,
Cabrera?
yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Let
another
me just tag
really
him on
good
Facebook
friend of
right now.
mine.
Maybe he'll hop in just to see us talk. Knowing Alex, he's probably not going to want to come on live, but he might want to catch this story.
Right,
Uh,
right.
where we at? Alex, is the tag coming up?
Yo, I got it. Yo, good thing you brought this up, Justin.
that was the other one. And while we're waiting for Alex, we'll hold that note.
No,
I'll
just
tell
have,
the
I
other
also
one.
got here. I
just go
also
for
got.
it because I don't know why it's not letting me tag him right
Okay,
now.
go ahead, Nadir.
Oh no, no. Oh, so pretty much what occurred was Alex. He got 2 tickets, right? I think it was 2 VIP tickets, and with him purchasing 2 tickets, they gave him a free one. So he invited me to the concert. I was like, "Oh man, for real, bro! Like, damn, beefs, like, thanks." And it was all dope. And then jokingly, I told him, "Yo, bro, what would be cool? What if I shoot for Stick Figure and Slightly Stupid and Pepper, bro? That would be insane." And he was like, "Just reach out to them." So I was like, "Of course, I'll do it." And the whole week went by. It was like the day before, and Alex hit me, "Yo, bro, like, did you reach out to them? What they say?" I was like, "Bro, honestly, I didn't. I didn't believe I could do that. And Alex was like, "Just do it. Like, who cares? Just do it." I was like, "You know what? Who cares? I'm just do it." And I just did it, and they responded. The guys from Pepper responded, and they gave me 3 tickets. And so I asked Justin. I did ask Paul, but Paul was busy,
I
and
was out of
I
town.
think I'm out of town.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I invite another friend of mine, Justin Maudsley. Well, I don't think you guys didn't meet him,
No.
but he could make it. So pretty much, get invited. It was I didn't know what to expect. I was, you know what, bro, this will be dope. And I was like, it'll be nice. I've already shot at parties and bar crowds before. Like I've shot like 700 people before. So you know what, this would be cool. Like no big deal. And we drove to the place. When we were getting there, like I remember we got into the parking lot, and this parking lot was huge. Like cars everywhere, as far as I could see. I was like, bro, I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Like, I still didn't expect what we were about to come across. As we got into the venue, the Wolf Trap, I think that was the name of it. Like, I just
Wolf Trap
remember,
in
like,
Vienna, Virginia. Pretty sure. Yeah.
is
Vienna.
that?
I said wolf traps in Vienna, I think, which is
Yeah.
where Emily's from.
Oh, nice. Bro, man, there was a lot of people. I think 15 to 20,000 people. But I remember they like the rush of excitement that hit me was kind of like very shocking. It was like, bro, for real, like this, like me shooting these guys, like damn, this is wild. And everybody was everybody was just drinking, smoking, and whatnot. And I just began taking photos and stuff, and it was pretty dope. One of the guys from Stick Figure, I had a good conversation with him backstage. I took a couple of photos with them, and one of the guys from Stick Figure, he was here in Belize last week. Kevin Bong, Kia Bong, and he saw I uploaded a photo on Instagram, and he's like, "Yo, bro, like, you still in PG?" He was like, "I'm in Cozumel in Mexico." I was like, "Damn, for real." And he was trying to connect, but the borders are closed right now in Belize. So, but it was just interesting. But
Are they closed right now?
the borders are closed except for the airport.
Okay, I was gonna say yeah, because
Yeah.
I do know someone who's just in Dallas that lives in Placencia. So
Oh, nice, nice.
yeah,
But it's just interesting. Like it was kind of like, uh, I don't know. That moment showed me that almost it showed me a lot of things in life are possible. Because it was kind of like, who am I coming from Belize, shooting for these guys that have been listening to their music for quite a while. And then me shooting their concert, it was kind of like a big thing for me. I was like, I would have never dreamed of something like that. And it just made me, realize that, man, a lot of things are possible. Like you just gotta have a little bit of luck, and you just gotta put a little bit of effort. And well, as much as you want, I mean, you gotta put a lot of effort with a lot of things, and things will manifest. A lot of things that you want will manifest. That was kind of like a special moment for sure. And I'm glad Justin was there. That was amazing. And of
that's a
course, I
good
got to thank Alex as well. If it
that's a good
wasn't for
story.
Alex, I don't think any of this would have occurred. And if it wasn't for Adam, I don't think I would have met Alex. And if it wasn't easy, like just a lot of things, it's it's not like I gotta be grateful, not just for Alex, not just for Justin. Of course, I'm grateful for everybody, but I'm grateful for Adam. I'm grateful for being in the States. Like, grateful for going to Galen with Adam and where I met Adam. Like, it's kind of like what Steve Jobs says. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back.
I
So
didn't
it's
know
kind
Steve Jobs said that, so I think we make that a Nate Dondi quote.
of like, but that's life, bro. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like life is kind of like a dream. Everything, just amazing. Just,
I can't
just
believe. So Justin, you
you-
said that was one story from Nadir. What was the other one?
Okay, so the other one, I don't know if it's really it's a Nadir story for sure. It's a Nadir story for sure, but it's also Paul, your brother story. And anything is possible, Nadir. Anything is possible because you can literally get on an airplane and not know what airport you're gonna fly into. Because if most of you guys know that there's both of you guys know there's two airports in DC. So what? There's one in in
There's
Virginia
three.
out. Is there three? Oh, I guess
There's
BWI.
BWI. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
That
DC.
was actually, I'll
That's
just say
small.
real quick, that was one of the best things about living in that area is you could always find a great deal to fly because you get at least one of those three airports. BWI kind of sucked going to, but anyways.
right. That was kind of
Yeah,
far.
yeah. But I mean, it is what it is. Whatever. But what was I gonna say? What's the other one called?
Dulles and
Dulles,
Reagan.
Reagan.
Yeah.
So, so your brother tells me and Nadir that he's gonna be flying into Dulles, and if anyone's driven to Dulles, you have to go down. I think 66, You have to drive all the way out there, toll road, like.
Hold on. Before you tell the rest of the story, there was one time also I picked Nadir up from Dulles and I drove around that parking lot like 10 times because they told me to keep it moving. And he's just, no Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi connection. She just went comes out an hour later. I'm like, thank God I stayed. Sorry, go ahead, Justin.
No. Me and Nadir were just mobbing down the road, talking about. I think it was right after Wolf. That it was right after, like literally like a day or something after Wolf Trap. Like, so we were just like on this like 10-mile high, like just like living life. Like, yeah, it was awesome. And we got we sat in traffic for like I feel like an hour or two, like just to get to Dulles. We're sitting in like the roundabout, and Paul calls us and is like, "Hey man, I just got off and I'm in Reagan." So me and Nadir had to drive back to. When Nadir was driving, we had to drive all the way.
It was probably like 5 p.m. too.
It was like 5 o'clock on like a Thursday or something like that.
Oh geez,
really bad timing.
But here's
I gotta say that was one thing with Pally. Like he would always pick the most inconvenient times to go like to the wrong airport. Like, BWI against traffic, like the Reagan story.
bro. That was classic. And to be honest with you, bro, like honestly, even experiencing that, like I didn't get upset, you know. I was like, oh nice, like it was like, oh beast.
Nice. He said Reagan, yes.
I was like, I could drive more, like. And I was, you know, Justin had the GPS and I was driving, and you know, like I love driving in DC, you know, like it's kind of like I
It's
wouldn't
kind
say
of like Belize City.
right, but a little bit more organized, you know, like a lot of traffic, but you know, people are more respectful. So I was like, I felt good. I was like, oh, nice, like
people more respectful.
in DC.
I think he's right. Yeah, even in
Yeah.
Belize City is definitely a different ball game, but I think it's definitely difficult to drive in both cities.
Right.
If you can handle one, you can handle the other.
Yeah, but honestly, when Paul said that, I was like, oh, beast, like let's do it, man. Like, and we just, I guess we drove like for another hour, I think, for another hour, something like that. But it was cool, man, and we saw Paul, and it was dope. I really enjoyed it, honestly.
Yeah,
but I don't know, like I enjoy all experiences, you know, whether it's kind of like not the most pleasant experiences or some of the best experiences. I know I just appreciate all experiences. That's just kind of like my thing, I guess. I don't know if that's kind of like a coping mechanism or what, but it was cool, man. I'll never forget that, Justin.
That was a good one.
J Money.
Nadir, I was just thinking about when you were definitely hustling too, like, and you were getting money, like you were making websites, making a nice stack. Remember how much money you were making on those websites? You're doing the photos for Mama Lucia, and then I'll never forget. So, for anyone who is listening, Nadir, like, not only did he came to America as an immigrant, and he worked in like every single sector. Like he did sales, photography, real estate, IT, whatever. But and this is the other one that he did. He did like hands-on construction. My man was laying drywall for a few weeks. And I know that was like a crazy experience for you too. Like, what was that? Can you tell me the drywall stories?
Yo, I remember it was with Dave, right? And it was interesting. I mean, Dave, interesting character, you know. And but I remember, so pretty much I remember when I met Dave and he told me what we were doing. I was like, oh, he was like, easy stuff, you know, all I want you to do, I'll just want you to grab the drywalls and just hold them for me, and I'll drill the drywalls. And I remember the first thing he asked me to do was like, we were at this weird house that he was building, and he just pointed over there, was like, all right, now there, just grab those drywalls and bring them over here. So I said, all right, sweet, like I'll do it, you know. I went over, I grabbed it, and as I was lifting, I was like, it was heavy as hell, and I just lifted just to lift it up, and my hands just kind of began burning. I was like, bro. I mean, and back then I wasn't. I mean, bro, I was physical. Like I wasn't fit. I wasn't working out. And I was like, oh man, it'll be a very long day. Like my gosh. I was like, bro, I don't know if I'll be able to handle this. But it was dope, man. I was there for the experience, you know. And I remember Dave had this worker, and they were kind of like always fighting, you know, like about nothing. Like they just loved the drama, you know. And I was just there, just listening, you know. And it's just interesting, you know. But even those experiences, I cherish those experiences, you know. It was kind of like a learning experience for me, you know. It was a different perspective from all the other gigs I was doing, you know. It was kind of like hard labor that that a lot of, I mean, that type of labor. It's kind of like a lot of you know, I would say legal immigrants is kind of like what they do, because it's kind of like manual labor, and it's kind of, I guess, I don't know, cheap wages. I don't know, man. That's just the reality of, you know, America. So it's just kind of like, it was a unique experience for me. It just let me appreciate that 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 reality for a lot of people. I was very appreciative of that, you know. But
Yeah.
it was dope.
Good times. This time cracking up. My hands were burning.
Girl, his friend was like, "What?"
How did that we had that phrase like wild like LeBron James.
All right.
How did we even get that?
Honestly, I do remember. It was kind of like, I mean, you know, this was a couple of, you know, it was kind of like a little bit of war. I would say kind of like my wild out. It was kind of like a wild time in the States, you know, like we had access to edibles and that type of good stuff, you know. And I remember this one time, I think you all were playing video games, or you guys were watching a movie, and I was, you know, you guys were in the living room. I was more like in the dining room, and I was in my computer. I was doing something, and I was off on an edible. You know, I was zoned out. And I remember you guys asked me something like,
What
you
do you
guys
see?
asked me for my opinion on something, and I was just there in my tablet. I'll never forget. I was there in my tablet, and I just look over to you guys. I was like, "That's wild." I just put my head down. You know, I was like, "That's wild," or something like that. I just put my head down,
I just
and then
remember the
like LeBron
Nadir,
James.
Nadir, what do you see? And he's like, I
Oh
see
no, bro, that was
a
wild.
rabbit. We'll leave it at that.
Right? Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
You know.
find. I gotta find that video of you guys dancing in my
Oh,
office.
what? You trying to share that?
Was I was gonna say
It's just you and Jay Money, or you guys were like, dun,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
dun,
Mm.
the
You
force
know,
note.
just idling around. You know, just
what was
being
that?
goofy.
I was gonna say something though, not to get all change the mood about or like the light. I mean, it's still gonna stay light, but I think what you just I just realized this, and maybe you know hindsight's 2020, but I think Adam, you brought up that you know Nadir came from Belize and was you know came and lived stayed with you guys. I came from far away, not that far away. I mean, obviously like 4 hours away, but still, we were both like we had this bond. I think because we were both in like this like very transitional point in our lives. Yeah, there we are. See, there
Same
you go.
reality.
Yeah,
There you
we
go,
were both.
Facebook. There's Nadir and Justin.
Uh,
That's when they knew they were gonna be homies for life. Was in this
Yeah,
moment.
no, I just think we were both just like in this like transitional moment in our lives, like both sleeping on couches, both like just like I don't know, dude. There's something about like just being in like the same experience or the same, yeah. I don't know. I just think I,
Let's talk about you and your job and kind of like your rise to the top with BMW, because like so Justin moved you actually I don't know exactly, did you move with a focus in photography? Were you trying to get a photography job at first?
yeah. So I was, and then they asked me to.
Well, you applied for the photography job at like Toyota or something.
Mhm.
And then they were like, I think you should go that way because you were clearly overqualified, and they sent you to the BMW dealership.
Yeah,
Fast forward like at least a year and a half, you were like top genius or whatever it was.
yeah. So BMW had geniuses, and I was doing really well as a genius. You know,
What's a genius? What's a BMW genius?
so basically, it's someone that if you buy BMWs and you own one,
Are you what?
you if you buy a BMW, you get a BMW genius to
You get a personal genius.
yeah to deliver the car for you. Um,
Daddy's
So,
legit.
basically, the ins and outs of the BMWs and how they work, and for the most part, nothing mechanical. Obviously, I'm not that smart, but what was I gonna say? And so basically, I did that for a while. Really enjoyed that. And they asked me to. I started selling cars. Enjoyed that, but if anyone knows about selling cars, it's a grind. I had to hear every Saturday. Are you ever gonna not work a Saturday? So even now, I still feel like I'm working on Saturdays, even though it's not like my day job. But I think I just did that for a while, and then I eventually found Paychecks where I work now, which I'm a virtual consultant now that we're in the world of COVID. But that's kind of like my move to DC. I moved into my apartment in DC with my roommate Drake, who happened to be deaf, him and his girlfriend, which was very interesting, to live with people that had who were deaf. And I mean, they were very nice people still to this day. Try to talk to them and message them, but very interesting series of events here in DC. So, and then COVID, boom, wild.
I still love Northern Virginia. I think it's a great area. Out of anywhere, if I had to go back and live one place that I've lived, or I've said this to Nikki before too, I'm like, if there's any one place we had to go back to that I've already lived, it would definitely be DC. Just because, honestly, I think for me it's the food and the amount of different things that you can do. I don't know. You're gonna have to. I mean, I know it's like COVID times, Justin, but you're gonna have to do a hard sales pitch on me on on the amount of more activities that you guys can do now compared to where you're at. I understand the pricing difference. That's actually a major one. I
Dude,
just love how much you can do in DC.
yeah, I think if you talk to Ellen, she would agree with you 100%. And she misses it a lot. Just being just
Yeah,
just saying, like
you and
literally
Ellen
having food like any type of food you want, literally any kind. Like you could just have any, like it's like living in probably like New York City. It's similar.
probably.
Even where we lived in Alexandria, Virginia before we moved back here. And we still had everything at your fingertips. Whatever you wanted. If you want to go eat high class dining, you could. It's just a mile away. And if you wanted to eat McDonald's or you wanted to eat some like street kind of tacos, you could go get it. Like there was literally anything.
Yeah,
In here, there's like three things. Our Texas Roadhouse is bumping, bro.
it is good.
Can never get in. It's always parking lot's always packed. So yeah.
Yeah, and the other cool thing about DC is like, yeah, you could get to Richmond. Did we lose him, or did he just turn the camera off? Because I know Nadir will feel me on this one if we still got him. Oh, he's still here. Cool. You could go. I mean, but going to Richmond, we can go to Richmond real quick for when we were doing the stuff with Ish. We could go to New York, Philly, which I thought that you had a story about Philly. Didn't you almost get lost one time, Nadir, on a bus? I thought that there was some kind of like situation where you were like just you didn't make it back.
Oh, so I was in Philly for overnight, and so pretty much what I carried was I was in Philly for I went to shoot it's a
The thing with
project
Ish.
out there in Philly with Ish. And it was a really cool experience, like exploring Philly for the first time, like exploring a city for the first time by myself, like that was kind of like cool, especially Philly being Philly, a unique city because it's kind of like a big city. But so pretty much I shot the event, I explored the city, took a lot of photos, ate a lot of falafels, and I was coming back. I took a bus from Philly to DC, and I think it was a 10 p.m. bus, and the bus ride was I think 3 hours. So I got to DC around 1 or 2 in the morning. I took the last metro from DC to Fairfax, and
That's right.
I was thinking I didn't have a phone, right? I thought it would have been.
Let's
There would
also,
have
okay,
been.
so to paint the picture, because you basically went from Union Station to, was it Vienna? What was the Fair? I can't remember the Fairfax one.
It was Vienna.
Vienna. So that's like in itself, it had to be at least like a 45-minute metro, I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
At least. Okay, yeah.
It was a little bit of a long ride. So when I got off in Vienna, I was hoping there would have been Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi. So I said, you know what?
It
Probably
was raining,
it
right?
was raining. I was like, probably there'll be a bus. Probably, I'm sure they'll have like buses will be running around that time in the morning. I was like, for the early risers, and I got there, nothing, no bus, and I was like, well, taxi, no taxi. I was like, wow, for real. I was like, my God.
And so Nadir, to get to where you had to go from that metro was at least another half hour to 45-minute walk.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was raining, and it was freezing as well. It was cold. And I remember I was just there, just sitting. I was just sitting under one of the bus stops, just kind of like waiting. I was just at that moment, I was like, you know what, like it is what it is. If I got to stay here till the morning, it's well. I mean, what could I do at this point? Just chill. Just enjoy the moment. Experience the moment. So I was there, and like a few bus stops away, I saw like this guy. He was dressed in all black, and I he walks over and was like, "Are you waiting for a taxi?" He was like, "No taxis, man. And he shows me his phone. I'm trying to call an Uber. I'm trying to get this Uber, but he's not coming. He doesn't know why." And it was this guy from Ghana, I believe. It was an African guy, and he just kept calling the Uber. And finally, the Uber came, and I got in the Uber with him. The Uber dropped him off at his work, which was one of the shopping centers or whatever. It was kind of like a morning shift. And after that, I just asked the guy like how much, like I don't have a phone. I can't do the official Uber thingy. So he was like, just give me whatever you want. I was like, is $20 all right? He was, no, my brother, like $20, no, my brother, like I don't want to take advantage of you, my brother. But no, this the Uber guy. He was like a Middle Eastern guy. He was from Afghanistan, and he was super good. He was like, just give me $5, brother. Like I'll take you, And but the experience, like the conversation that I had with the first guy that called it Uber, the African guy, just incredible, Like just he was just talking about coming all the way from Africa, from Ghana, and like coming from a very poor village and working and sending money back home and sending things back home, like clothes and items for kids and the neighborhood. So it was kind of like impressive to me. Of course, it was. I'll never forget. And a lot of times I feel like going to the shopping center just to see him, just to say what's up. But I didn't do it. I always thought that would have been weird for him. But I kind of regret that I didn't do it now. And then while I was going on the Uber with the Uber, with the Afghani guy, it was incredible. Like he was just telling me about all his crazy experiences in the States and how hard he had worked to the point where he was. And Uber was like his side gig, and he owned a pretty nice home. He was married, he had kids and stuff. So kind of it was very impactful. It was kind of like made me realize that a lot of challenges that we may have, whether it's me, whether it's you, Adam, or whether it's Justin, like at a certain level, we're all experiencing kind of like the same life. Like we have the same challenges. We have same. We aspire, to do big things, good things. You aspire to help people. Similar pains, similar difficulties, accomplishments. I mean, life is just one incredible journey, you know, and it's interesting how it's like so similar with almost every single person. But of course it varies with levels, you know, but ultimately like this is it, the human experience, you know, and I just think that was, you know, something beautiful, I guess, you know, to experience and just to hear. I don't know. I guess I like listening to people. I think there's, I don't know, I like relating to people. So, you know,
That is definitely one of Nate. Yeah, one of your biggest skills is if you lock Nadir in a room with another person, like guaranteed they'll come out friends. Like it's pretty much impossible. I don't know any. I can't think of one person that's been like, I don't like that guy. As Nadir continues to become the great Nadandi, you know, every Nadandi still has haters, but hey, we can't. But
No, I'm
maybe
here.
not. I don't
right.
know.
It's
Is it
interesting.
possible? Did anybody ever hate Gandhi?
Probably. Maybe.
Yes,
Probably.
yes.
There's like, yes, I
He
researched
was,
it.
he was a politician, you know,
Oh, was
and
he? I didn't
he
realize
was a
that.
politician.
Oh,
Uh,
you're not. Yeah, that's not
like
you.
another thing in India is, you know, India has like the caste system or caste system. I'm not sure what it's called, you know, like
Your ranking.
right, the ranking, the social ranking based on skin tones, which is if you're like the one of the darkest, you're like at the bottom, and they're known as the untouchables. Apparently, Gandhi, he was like the upper class, and he was he was racist, you know, and
Wow,
he didn't like
you never really hear that though.
right, right. Oh no, no, you don't hear it, you know, but I mean it's just kind of like historical truth, you know, and he didn't like Africans and African people, you know, and that's just our reality. And he did a lot of great things, I think, for his people, but
Yeah,
ultimately it was not perfect, you know.
yeah.
That's like a
Interesting.
realization. Yeah,
Yeah, I know
but
you do your research, so that's good.
yeah.
We can go ahead and start winding it down now, but I'm trying to think of like something cool to top it off with. I don't know, Jay Money. What time you waking up? What time you waking up for work tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm getting up probably about, I like to start the morning off with a nice stretch. No, 7 a.m. probably 7:30. I've been
Okay.
sleeping until 7:30 every day.
Nice.
Yeah, big up.
I don't know why. I don't know why I asked that. I was trying to think of something.
Yeah.
um,
All good.
well, I got anything here? I wanted to make sure we got that drywall story in because I knew it was good. Um, yeah, fellas, we can go ahead and cap it. This was fun. We're gonna probably
Yeah.
do more next level pop ups. Was there anything? Am I pulling the trigger too early here? Was there anything else that was coming to mind?
I mean, I don't know. Like honestly, right now, I'm so freaking happy to hear you guys, bro. It's pretty amazing to see how, like, a lot of times we may take technology for granted, but bro, I'm connected with you guys right now. I'm listening to you guys. I haven't spoken to you guys in a very long time, so it's kind of like, you know, like it means a lot. You're like, yo, I'm with G Money.
And we're in 3 different countries too.
Oh
That's true.
shit, for real. Oh, my bad. Yeah,
Three
for
different
real.
countries.
Countries. And I don't know, man. Like after some of my life experiences this year, you know, this past year, um, I don't know, man. Like I appreciate, I appreciate everybody more. Like you guys, I appreciate you guys like more than ever. Even though I haven't spoken to you guys in a good while, you know, like, and I cherish every single moment, like every single moment, you know, and I don't know, like, I'm just grateful, you know, that I'm listening to you guys and we're having this discussion right now, and I guess it's on Facebook, it's live, man. For I don't know if anyone's even listening, you know, but
We
I
will.
mean,
I think we will
that's
get
like,
it.
it
What
was,
I or go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, you know, like I just feel blessed, you know, like what even if it's bro, bro, we have hell, like we're alive right now, you know, and after a lot of things that I've seen this year, bro, like man, it just made me value people more. Just value people, like
Real
that's kind
quick,
of like one of the most important things,
what's what, what's the up? You said you're not in Belmopan, which is your hometown, right? You're not there anymore, or you're not
Right.
there right now. You've been spending time in Toledo, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Down south. So like, what are you working on down there?
Well, I came down here to take some photos and videos for one of my friends. He owns a hotel and a couple of other buildings. And oh, hold on, sorry, excuse me. Let me just plug in my device.
So are you staying in a hotel room right now?
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, oh, hold on.
The
A lapse
Nadir
of
suite.
luxury.
Sorry.
Nadir's just chilling in the middle of COVID. Nadir's just chilling at a resort, taking pictures.
Yeah. So pretty much I came down here, and then so pretty much I came down here, and I've begun working the photos and the videos. I'm still working on that, and just some other different business projects that we've engaged in, and that's kind of like what I'm doing right now. It's I've been here for a couple of months now, but being down here it's so different because like it's kind of like it's very private, and especially with everything going on in the country, the country being locked down, a lot of they have like I won't say quarantine, it's what you call it, curfew. It's been a really wild ride in Belize, just like in most
What
places in the world.
I want to know what it's like in Belize with the curfew and stuff because I just feel like people are like, ah, yeah, whatever.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, people were like that, but a lot of people were arrested and charged like $5,000 for violating curfew. And not only that, but the police here in Belize, they were like brutalizing people. Like, and the police, they would pull out their phones, right? They would be on the car patrolling, and if they would see somebody, they would just chase them down, and they would record themselves chasing people down and just beating people, bro. Here in Belize, when I'm telling you human rights violation, I mean human rights when it comes to that don't even exist.
It
Like,
ain't nothing compared to what you're seeing on TV.
oh no, 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 like bro, like this little old man, like the police raided his house, like they shot him up, they beat him up, they almost killed the man. I mean, police kill people here, like, and I'm not saying it that Belize is a dangerous place. It's not if you're smart. Like you just gotta do what you gotta do to stay out of these people's hands. Just don't do foolish stuff. Or I just gotta be smart. In everything that you do. So it's just wild. Like, and because of all those videos, like it was kind of like a fun time for the police. It was kind of like letting the dogs out, like, oh, like we're on curfew, like if we find you, we'll get you, we'll do this.
Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And
I can totally see that.
the
Yeah.
police here, they don't have like a lot of training. Like you could become a police officer like in 3 months. So it's for real, like, and there's not even any physical training or anything like that. Not to talk bad about the police, but that's just the reality. That's the nature of things. Like our law enforcement standards in this country, we're not there, which is cool, like
Which can be, I still will say, can in certain cases be all right because, like, at
it
least
is
I feel like in Belize, going down the highway, you're never worrying about the speed limit. Like you play it, you be smart, you be aware, you're safe, you drive with your eyes open. Like things like that are
and
there's
don't
different
drink.
levels of freedom depending on what you like, and there's definitely certain, and this, there's certain levels of freedom in Belize that in North America we don't have. So it's all about just picking
Absolutely.
your spot.
I think ultimately, like in Belize, there's more accountability on the individual. Like there's a lot of freedom, but it's up to you to to experience that freedom. No, if you want to do crazy stuff because there's a lot of freedom, so there's a lot of freedom. So you want to drink a lot and drive drunk. You kill you crash, you kill yourself, you kill people, you'll be in deep trouble. But with that freedom, I think it requires a level of discipline and accountability. You know, you gotta be responsible for yourself, and I prefer things to be like that. You know, like I think a lot of people do. You know, like I don't want you to tell me anything. Like it's up to me. You know, it's I want to be responsible for myself, and I think that's really cool. Well, in other countries, you know, like more organized countries, like you can't really do that. You know, so but I'm just saying that not to really, not just to say the negative things about the police officers. Um, I think it's great, man. 3 months they become a police officer, and they're very flexible with people, and
And
then
for
they
some,
can.
I mean, some of our friends that became officers, and it was probably
Yeah,
one of the best things for their life. So,
of course. They're so flexible with people. They're cool with people, you know. But of course, if you want to act crazy and do crazy stuff, like you know, you get like a crazy reaction, and you know, you suffer the consequences. But it's all about being responsible, you know, and that's kind of like how things are with the curfew here in Belize. But
what's it like with the masks? Are people like really like hardcore on people making sure they have their
oh,
mask on?
absolutely, like you gotta have
Really?
your mask up, or else you're paying that 5,000 grand. It's
Okay.
not cool.
So they're
Not
trying to
cool.
get the money. Uh,
Yeah, but of course you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, like I don't like it. I really don't like the masks. But you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, like I try not to go out too much. But apart from that, like the really crazy thing is all the businesses have like a lot of businesses just have shut down, and I think a lot of businesses aren't opening anytime soon. And like with the
okay, I
like,
think do you think it's different though in Belize? Like some businesses might not be wanting to open just because like they don't want to open, like they just want to chill, or is it that they don't want to make money? Because I could see. I
um,
remember when in Belize, I was like, man, I swear, anytime there's a holiday, there is no hesitation for everyone to take the day off. So like,
think
what's the balance there?
honestly, I think at this point it's a lot different because like a lot of businesses are going bankrupt because they I'm pretty sure they regret all those holidays and all those times that they wasted, you know. I myself, I regret that as well because I had a lot of opportunities coming at me and I was kind of like lagging at the point at that moment, you know, like things were really starting to pop off, like shooting for resorts and stuff. I was about to head out to Mexico, you know, and shoot for some resorts and some guest houses, and everything just kind of like collapsed. And not just me, like if it's a lot of businesses, and it's come to a point that there's really no money, you know. Like first the businesses shut down, so a lot of people
To
lost their
me,
job.
that sounds like the motivation for the 5 grand for curfew is because no one's got money, so that's why they want to bust you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a lot of men, like a lot of people have lost their jobs in Belize, and of course with a lot of strict regulations, a lot of people can't even work. So some people lost their jobs because of the strict regulations. Other people lost their jobs because the businesses weren't making any money, so they had to like let people off. And Belize has always had kind of like a fragile economy. I mean, kind of like the world economy. I mean, I think right now the world economy we're in a really bad place. And in Belize, which we have always mostly depended on tourism, that we are in a very bad place right now in this country. So
Tourism, definitely. Yeah.
right, tourism is dead, and it's man, it's really tough, and I don't see a lot of these businesses coming back to business, you know, like getting back anytime soon. So I don't know. It's tough. I don't know, man.
Did that
I don't.
Apple gift card work out?
Oh yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you very
cool.
much.
I never got a confirmation. I was like, all right, cool.
Oh, I didn't. I think I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Oh, yeah. I messaged you. But yeah, man, things are really crazy right now in Belize. Um, It's kind of like right now. I think right now the most important thing is kind of like food security, you know. But right,
Because
like
I
people,
don't think we're seeing that. I mean, actually, Justin, I personally, I feel kind of a little bit disconnected from the whole thing. We haven't really seen anything traumatic, in my opinion, here. I mean,
right,
I know all of North America is kind of like jobless right now, but I don't actually know anyone who's like not working because of this. What's it like in Pennsylvania or like in your
right,
circle, Justin?
Um, so I mean, like I work with small business. That's like what I do primarily now. Just with like, basic business functions and things like that. Um, and I'm a national rep, so I call people all over the country. But just where I'm at right now, I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff shut down. Um, I think it's depending on state where you live and things like that, especially in America, as far as like what your state looks like. In PA, I mean, there's definitely PA is a weird place, man. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
because dude, you're in Pittsburgh, but the state is a little bit more left leaning because Philly is such a big population. So you
yeah,
guys are living with what's basically being regulated from the other side of the state.
yeah, and where I live currently is one of the biggest fracking plants in like, not to get political here, but in like Pennsylvania. And so it's right along the Ohio River, and it is like it's probably terrible for the environment. And I'm sure Nadir probably hates to hear that because you love the environment, but it's in this area that I live, that I just bought a house in. It definitely is like the heart of like just like bringing people in, like people from all over the country come and work here. So a lot of those people are still working. But I know with some of the changes going on politically, they might be shutting down fracking, so things might even get worse here.
Mm.
So that might be a huge detrimental thing to this community because of just like the people that moved here. Some people even are planning on staying. So even just like apartments and housing and stuff, there's just been a boom here. But it's funny because like you're saying, like Pennsylvania is a little more left leaning. There's still a lot of right leaning, like rural Pennsylvania is
yeah,
very like,
Like if you looked at PA on a map, it would be mostly red, but because the density is all
yeah,
in that bottom or
exactly,
yeah,
bottom right hand corner, that
yeah,
southeastern corner.
exactly. So like I think what Nadir Nadir was saying about like cops beating people because they're not wearing masks and like out past. We need some of that here because there's people like just buying a house, like you go to
Wait, you said you're
Lowe's.
seeing some of that?
No, so we need some.
Oh, we need some.
I know police brutality is a big deal right now in America, so I don't want to.
It's kind of no. Nadir makes a great point, and I think that's so powerful because Belize isn't the only
yeah,
place in America we're complaining. I'm just gonna say it straight up, like we're complaining about police brutality. Please, if you're an American and I know you can't leave the country now, but please go to what we would consider a second or third world country and see what the people think about their police force. It's still like
yeah.
in North America we're spoiled. For anyone to think that this isn't fair right now, you ain't seen nothing, honestly. So sorry, continue, Justin.
Yeah, no. All I was saying was like, I go to Lowe's. Actually, both my parents, they're trying to stay healthy, trying not to get COVID or, me and Ellen have had family members that had COVID, and we go shopping for them and stuff like that and get them stuff. And so whenever we go out, like there's people without masks on still. I'm like, dang man, it's been like a year now. And like how don't you realize that this is like not a real thing? Like I get it. You think it's a conspiracy, and that's another thing. Conspiracy theorists are like are popular. Either like I don't know, there's a bunch of stuff out there that I just is nuts. But as far as Pennsylvania goes, you have a
Well, do
bunch
you
of
think my thing is, do you think it's actually as deadly as they say, or are deaths getting fake labeled?
so I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Because especially so that's
Because
the
I
other
know
thing
I
about
do know
Pennsylvania.
a handful of people that have had it now, but I've never heard anyone say like, "Oh, I thought I was going to die."
Um, well, I
But
mean,
maybe you do. You're I don't
yeah,
know.
I've had some close calls with some family members.
Yeah.
As far as that, yeah. Um, and I think it can be. I think given the right circumstances. But I do think like here, especially Pennsylvania, where I live, in the outside the Pittsburgh area, there is a lot of older community, a lot of people that like a lot of old folks homes, And like I know just like not up the street, but like maybe like 10 miles away from where I'm living currently, there's an old folks home that just like literally I'm pretty sure everyone died. Like one person got it and they just like
Mm.
plowed through the entire like the guy across the street, his sister lived there and he and she passed away. I mean like done, you know, like so I think that it's weird because there's that stuff's happening, but then there's people that are still here that aren't wearing masks and are going to parties and having like all kinds of like get-togethers and barbecues and Christmas
Do you
outings
think?
and
I
things.
mean, I don't know. Is the whole mat is really wearing a mask going to make that much of a difference? Because for example, you go to a restaurant. Doesn't it seem kind of odd that like you can sit down and take it off and it's not going to affect anyone, but if you're walking around,
Well, so I don't. That's so I don't go to restaurants. I
yeah.
haven't sat in a restaurant in since I don't even can't remember the last time I sat. I sat inside one briefly to meet with a friend from college. A teat. I don't know if you remember a teat, but yeah, I haven't sat in one. I haven't sat in one in probably a year almost because I just think that it's a little yeah, exactly. There's not a difference between sitting without a mask on and walking with one on. So
Hmm.
yeah, I just think honestly, I think I have a mixed opinion about it all because I mean it's very political, and I'd rather not get too political.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel relatively unfazed by it, but it's also probably because of where I'm at. Like I'm on an island in Canada where they don't pretty much don't let anyone in. Similar to Belize, it sounds like. So
Yeah, I mean if you go to a different state, if I say I go visit you know somebody in Ohio or somebody in West Virginia, I have to quarantine when I get back.
well, the
So
thing is about that too, like I do have a lot of people in my circle that are traveling and going places and stuff, and I'm scratching my head thinking like, okay, like is it really that bad if like plane tickets are at an all-time low? Um, the people that I'm thinking of, like they seem fine. I've heard stories of people with having to quarantine and stuff and how like really to be completely honest, and again, I can't say this from my own experience, but in general, it sounds like no one's actually really checking up on you. It's kind of like up to you,
oh
you know? So
no, not at all. I feel like
how are you getting checked up on?
no one's getting checked up on.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what
so it's
I'm like.
like,
That's what I'm saying. No, not at all. Like
it seems like more of a scare tactic or something like,
100%. Yeah, like the
yeah.
CDC is gonna call you and find out who's. I've known a few people now that have had COVID, and now a single phone call. People that I've been exposed to. So I've been tested positive. I've tested positive. I've never tested. I've, I've taken 3 tests now. I think. Yeah, 3. And I've not got one call from the CDC. I've got not one call from the county, nor has the person that had COVID. Like, who have you been with? Nothing. So how are they tracing it? I don't think they are, man. To be honest, I mean, like maybe they are. Maybe there's like that one guy out there doing it, you know. But you know, McGruff the crime dog or something like that. But yeah, I don't think they're, in my personal opinion.
Work out, get some vitamin D, you'll be all right.
Yep, eat your beats.
Are you doing any workouts?
What?
You doing any workouts?
Heck no. I was for a while. Actually, I lost like 20 pounds since COVID started.
Oh, there you go.
But I gained it all back about a week ago. No, I'm just joking.
About a week ago.
It's slowly coming back. But
All right, we drag this out now. Well, we've been going. It's actually not too bad. I think as long as I really want to make sure we stay under an hour and a half, which I think we hit.
yeah,
We're good. Why don't I just stop the stream on Facebook, and then if we want to keep chit chatting here, we can.
okay.
All right. So, Justin, if anyone wants to follow up and get in touch with you on anything you discussed today, what's the best way to get in touch? We're on Facebook actually, and everyone's tagged, so I guess that's probably the best way. Where's the little emojis? You ever use these little emojis here? All right. Nadir, Justin, say bye to the live stream at least. We'll keep it rolling
Yeah.
here.
Later,
All right.
guys.